Hey guys, have you ever walked into a room and then when you got there, you couldn't remember what you came in there for? Yeah, seems to happen more the older you get. So anyway, last night I had this happen kind of in a different way. When I was laying in bed right before I went to sleep, I had this really good thought, and it was one of those that I remember thinking, oh, should I write this down now? And I thought, I'm pretty awake. I can remember this. Most of the time, I just can't remember these thoughts when I've been asleep and wake up and then don't write them down. But it was a thought that was important enough to me. It was for a class, and it was something that was big. I thought was big, that I need to do some research in for this class. And but I didn't write it down because I'm like, that is so big, there's no way I'm going to forget that. That's awesome. Well, so I get up this morning and I'm going about my routine, and at some point it dawned on me, oh yeah, I need to write that thing down that I remembered last night. And I'm like, what was that thing? What was that thing that I did last night? And I tried and I tried and I tried to remember, and I couldn't remember. So I remembered rosemary. And I have done this before when I've walked into rooms and forgot something. And I can't remember. I have breathed in rosemary, walked back into the room or to the spot where the original thought was. That's important too, to go back to where you were when you had the thought, and then breathe your rosemary, and then it brings it back. It helps me anyway. So I was like, okay. So I couldn't remember, so I headed down to my bedroom, and I'm like, I'd smelled the rosemary in there thinking, what was that thought? What was it? And then I couldn't remember, so I came in my bedroom, and I sat down here on my bed, and I'm like, what was that thought? Lord, please help me remember that thought. I know it had to even come from you because it was such an awesome thought, and I really want to remember. And I was smelling it, and I just couldn't smell it yet. And so I thought, well, I'm going to lay down just like I was last night. And I just sat here, and maybe 30 seconds, I was breathing the rosemary in, thinking, what was that? And it came to me. It came right to me. And so I sat there, and I breathed my rosemary in and tried to remember everything about the thought, everything that I had processed in my mind last night that I should have went and written down. I know that. I know I should go write that stuff down, because something about sleep and me, and right before sleep, during sleep, right after sleep, is usually gone. So anyway, I wanted to share my story on rosemary, because the older we get, the more we'll probably have these lapses in memory. And that's how I used rosemary. And it doesn't smell the greatest. Like, it's not one that I would want to put under my nose if I was going to town for everybody else to smell. I don't know that I would do that. But all I had to do was inhale the oil from the bottle to remember what I needed to remember. And of course, don't underestimate the prayer, because I was like, Lord, help me remember. And he did. So that's my story on rosemary. I hope you guys have a great day, and remember where you're going and what you're supposed to be doing. And if you can't, you might get your rosemary out. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.